Does your cat follow you everywhere? Into the kitchen, down the hallway, and yes, even into the bathroom, sitting right there on the tile, staring up at you like you're about to do something fascinating. And you've probably laughed about it. Maybe you've told a friend, "My cat won't leave me alone, he follows me into the bathroom." But somewhere in the back of your mind, a quieter question sits there. Why? Why does this little animal, the one everybody swears is aloof, independent, a loner who doesn't need anybody, why does that animal trail you from room to room like a shadow? Here's the first thing I want you to hear. You're not imagining it. You're not being silly. And you are absolutely not alone. I would say 9 out of 10 people who share their home with a cat have watched this exact thing happen and wondered what it means. So if you've ever felt a little foolish for typing, "Why does my cat follow me everywhere?" into a search bar at 11 o'clock at night, stop. This is one of the most real, most meaningful things your cat does, and the true reason is not what you think. Because here's what most people assume. They assume it's about food. Oh, he just follows me because he thinks I'll feed him. And look, that's part of it. But if that were the whole story, your cat would follow you to the food bowl and nowhere else. He wouldn't follow you into a room where there has never once been food. He wouldn't sit outside the shower. He wouldn't watch you brush your teeth. There's something deeper going on here. There are layers to this. And by the end of what I'm about to tell you, you're going to understand your cat in a way that changes how you look at him for the rest of his life. But I'm also going to be honest with you, because that's my job. Most of the time, this following behavior is one of the sweetest, most beautiful things about living with a cat. But there is a version of it, a specific shift, a specific pattern, where the following stops being love and starts being a signal that something might be wrong. And I'm going to hold that part for the end, because you need the whole picture first. Just know it's coming. When we get there, it matters. I'm Dr. Aurelio. I'm the old-school cat vet, the kind who learned as much from watching cats in real homes as from any textbook. And I've spent a lot of years now listening to people describe this exact behavior across the exam table. "He follows me everywhere, doctor. Is that normal? Is something wrong with him?" And I always smile because the answer is usually the best kind of answer. No, nothing's wrong. Your cat is telling you something. Let me teach you how to read it. Let's start with the layer underneath everything else. The foundation. Because to understand why your cat follows you, you have to understand how your cat sees you. And here's the thing that surprises people the most. Your cat does not see you as a strange giant. Your cat does not see you as a different species he happens to live with. In your cat's mind, you are, more or less, a very large, very clumsy, very reliable cat. His cat. And you are the center of his territory. Now sit with that, because it's the key to the whole thing. To a cat, the world is not really about people or places the way it is for us. The world is about territory, safe zones and unsafe zones. And in the middle of all of it, the beating heart of the entire map is his security base, his safe center, the one thing in his world that means everything is calm, everything is okay, nothing is going to hurt him. And that thing, that security base, is you. So when he follows you from the living room to the kitchen to the hallway, he isn't being needy in the way a person would be needy. He's doing something much more instinctive than that. He's keeping his security base in sight. You are the safe zone that walks around, and a smart animal keeps his safe zone close. That's the first layer, and it's the deepest one. Everything else sits on top of it, and you can actually watch this happen if you know what to look for. Pay attention to your cat the next time you get up and leave the room. A lot of the time, he'll lift his head, he'll track you with his eyes, and then, after a beat, he'll get up and drift after you, not running, not desperate, just quietly re-establishing the distance he's comfortable with. That distance is called the safe radius, and every cat has one. Some cats like to be right at your heels. Others are happy to keep you at the far end of a room, as long as they can see you. Either way, what he's doing is managing the gap between himself and his security base, moment by moment, all day long, without you ever noticing. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. He is orbiting you. And here's something that ties it right back to how young he was when he first met you. A kitten learns his first sense of safety from his mother, her warmth, her scent, the fact that near her, nothing bad happens. When a cat bonds to a person, some of that same wiring lights up. You become a source of that early bone-deep feeling of, okay. That's why the following can feel so tender. It isn't calculation. It's something closer to comfort. Here's the second layer, and this one people almost never think about. Cats are territorial patrollers by nature. In the wild, a cat walks the edges of his territory every single day, checking the borders, refreshing his scent, making sure nothing has changed, making sure nothing has moved in. It's a job. It's built into him. And in your home, guess what those borders are? The rooms, the doorways, the hallway. Your house is his territory, and patrolling it is hardwired into who he is. But here's the beautiful part. Cats who trust each other, cats who are bonded, patrol together. They walk the territory side by side. So when your cat gets up and pads down the hall behind you, part of what's happening is a joint patrol. You're walking your shared territory together, the two of you, checking the borders as a team. He's not just following you. In his mind, you're doing rounds together. You're partners on the same beat. And to a cat, that is one of the highest forms of trust there is. Think about what he's actually doing on that walk. He's reading the territory in a way you can't. His nose is picking up whether anything has changed. A new smell on your shoes, a package that came in the door, the neighbor's cat who walked along the fence outside the window. To him, the house is a living map that updates constantly, and every trip down the hall is a chance to keep that map current. And doing it alongside you, his trusted partner, makes the whole thing feel secure. Two sets of senses are better than one. If you seem calm as you move through the space, he reads that. Your calm tells him the borders are safe. So in a strange, quiet way, when you walk through your home relaxed and unbothered, you're reassuring your cat that his entire world is okay. You're the lead officer on patrol, and he trusts your read. There's another piece to this, too. Have you ever noticed your cat run ahead of you and then wait, trotting a few steps in front, glancing back, leading you somewhere? That's the flip side of the same instinct. Sometimes he's not following, he's guiding, escorting you toward a place that matters to him, usually the food bowl, sometimes a favorite window. Following and leading are two halves of the same bond. He wants the two of you moving through the territory as a unit, and he doesn't much care who's in front. Now, the third layer is the one everybody guesses first, routine and food association, and I don't want to dismiss it, because it's real. Cats are creatures of pattern to a degree that would honestly amaze you. Your cat has learned the rhythm of your day better than you know it yourself. He knows that when you walk toward the kitchen at a certain time, good things tend to follow. He knows the sound of the drawer. He knows the sound of the pouch. So yes, some of that following is your cat placing a small, hopeful bet that this trip, this particular walk down the hall, might just end in dinner. But I want you to notice something. If food were the only reason, he'd learn quickly which trips lead to the bowl and which don't, and he'd stop wasting his energy on the empty ones. He doesn't. He follows you to places where food has never appeared and never will. He follows you to the couch. He follows you to the front door. He follows you to the bathroom. And we're going to get to the bathroom because it deserves its own explanation. The food association is real, but it's the top layer, the surface. It's not the root. The root is trust and safety and territory and something else I haven't named yet. And that something else is the layer that quietly demolishes the biggest myth about cats there is. The myth that cats are solitary, cold, that they don't need us, that they only tolerate us for the can opener. I have heard this my entire career, and I want to tell you plainly, it is wrong. It's one of the most stubborn, most damaging misunderstandings about these animals, and it hurts them because it makes people believe their cat doesn't care. Here's the truth. Cats are not solitary the way we were told. Yes, they hunt alone. A cat stalks a mouse by himself, and that's where the myth comes from. But hunting alone is not the same as living alone. In the real world, cats form colonies. They groom each other. They sleep piled together in a warm heap. They raise kittens cooperatively. One mother will nurse another mother's litter. They have friends. They have preferences. They genuinely bond. And when a cat chooses to follow you around your home, he is doing the thing his social heart is built to do. He is staying near his group, near his person. near the one he's bonded to. That is not the behavior of an animal who merely tolerates you. That is the behavior of an animal who has chosen you, who feels safest in your presence, who, in the only language he has, is telling you every single day that you are his. And I think that's worth stopping for, because it's easy to miss the size of it. This small, ancient, self-possessed creature, who could hide from you all day if he wanted, who fears almost everything, decides that the safest place in his entire world is 3 feet behind your ankles. That's not nothing. That's a bond. And I want to give you one more piece of proof, because it's the piece that convinces the skeptics. Cats have preferences about their people. They don't bond to everyone the same way. In a house full of people, a cat will very often pick one person he follows more, sits with more, seeks out more. If it were only about food, he'd follow whoever fed him. But often the cat's favorite person and the person who fills the bowl aren't the same at all. He's choosing based on something else, based on who makes him feel safe, based on who he's bonded to. That selectivity, that clear preference, is the fingerprint of a real emotional attachment. A vending machine doesn't earn loyalty. A trusted member of the family does. So the next time somebody tells you cats don't care, that they're just using you, I want you to think about your cat's feet padding across the floor behind you for the 100th time today, following you to a room where there's nothing in it for him but you. That's your answer. That's the whole argument, walking down the hall on 4 quiet paws. Now, the bathroom. I promised you the bathroom, and I know it's the part you've been waiting for, because the bathroom is where this behavior gets genuinely funny and genuinely mysterious. Why the bathroom? Of all the rooms. Why does your dignified, self-respecting cat insist on joining you in the one room where you'd like a moment of peace? There are a few reasons layered together, and every one of them comes straight back to what we've already learned. First, the bathroom is one of the only rooms where you close the door, and a closed door, to a cat, is an outrage. It's a piece of his territory that has been sealed off. It's a border he can't patrol. So the instant that door starts to close, some cats will slip through to make sure the mysterious room behind the door doesn't disappear from their map. He's not being nosy. He's keeping his territory intact. Second, the bathroom is full of running water, and running water is deeply interesting to a cat. Some of it is the sound. Some of it is that many cats instinctively prefer moving water. But there's also this. The bathroom is often where your cat has learned he can get you to turn on a tap, and a lot of cats simply enjoy fresh water from a faucet more than water sitting still in a bowl. And third, the deepest reason, the bathroom is one of the few places where you sit still. You stop moving. You stop being busy. And to a cat, a still human is a golden opportunity. You're not walking away. You're not doing chores. You are briefly a captive, seated, warm, available member of his social group. So he takes it. He plants himself right there on the tile and enjoys the company. In his mind, you two are having quality time. You just happen to be doing something else at the same moment. And there's one more thing about the bathroom that people rarely think about, and it's kind of touching once you understand it. The bathroom is where your scent is strongest. It's where you spend time on yourself, where the towels smell like you, where the whole room is soaked in the personal smell of the one animal your cat is most bonded to. To a cat, scent is comfort. Scent is safety. A room that smells overwhelmingly like his favorite person is, to him, one of the most reassuring places in the entire house. So he's not just following you in there for the company or the running tap. He's stepping into a room that smells like the safest thing in his world. Of course he wants to be there. You can even see the layers stack up in his body language once he's in there with you. Watch how he settles. If he lies down, rolls a little, shows you his belly, blinks slow and lazy, that's a cat completely at ease, a cat who came in for connection and found it. He picked the small, tiled room to relax in out of the whole house because you're in it. If that doesn't tell you what you mean to him, nothing will. So put it all together, and the whole mystery unravels. The closed-door border, the running water, the still available person. The bathroom isn't strange at all. It's the perfect storm of everything that makes your cat follow you in the first place. Territory, curiosity, and above all, the pull to be near you. Now, I told you I was holding something for the end, and here we are. Because everything I've said so far is the sweet version, the healthy version, the version where following you is love and trust and a beautiful bond. But I would not be doing my job as your cat's vet if I stopped there, because there is another version of this behavior, and once you can see it, you may notice things you'd have missed before. Here's the difference, and it's everything. Healthy following looks relaxed. Your cat trails you, sure, but he's at ease. He wanders off. He naps in his spot. He comes and goes. Following you is one thing among many that he does in a normal, contented day. But there's a shift I want you to watch for, when following turns into shadowing, when it stops looking like companionship and starts looking like anxiety. You know it when you see it. The cat who can't let you out of his sight, who cries at the closed bathroom door instead of just sitting outside it, who paces when you move, who seems tense, clingy, unable to settle unless he's pressed right against you, who follows you not with the loose, easy confidence of a bonded animal, but with a kind of desperation. That's not the same behavior. That's a cat trying to tell you that something inside his world has changed. And here's why that matters so much. A sudden change in how much your cat follows you is one of the most honest signals he can give, because cats hide almost everything. They hide pain. They hide sickness. They hide fear until they can't anymore. So when a cat who was always independent suddenly becomes a clinging shadow, or a cat who always followed you suddenly stops and starts keeping his distance, that change is information. It can mean anxiety, stress from something new in the home, but it can also sometimes mean he isn't feeling well, and he's seeking the one thing that makes him feel safe. Now, I don't want you to panic. This is not a run out the door in the middle of the night thing. If your cat has always followed you and he still does it the same relaxed way, that's just love. Enjoy it. But if you see a real change, a new, anxious, clingy shadowing that wasn't there before, or the opposite, a bonded cat who suddenly withdraws, that's worth a conversation with your veterinarian. Not tonight, but soon. And I want to say something specifically to those of you with an older cat, because this is where I've seen it matter most. In a senior cat, a change in behavior is never just getting old. It is always worth a look. An older cat who suddenly becomes clingy, restless, more vocal, more attached than he's ever been, that's a cat whose body may be changing in ways you can't see from the outside. There are conditions common in older cats that can make them anxious and shadow-like, and one of them, an overactive thyroid, is exactly the kind of thing your vet can check with a simple visit. Please don't wait on senior changes. In an older cat, a new behavior is a note passed under the door. Read it. So here's where I want to leave you. Most of the time, the vast majority of the time, your cat following you everywhere is the purest good news there is. It means he trusts you. It means you are the safe center of his whole world. It means that this animal, who the whole world insists is a cold and solitary loner, has quietly decided that the best place to be is wherever you are. Don't let anyone tell you that's small. In the language of cats, there is almost nothing bigger. And if you love him back, if you keep an eye on the way he follows, and you notice when the sweet, relaxed shadow becomes a tense, anxious one, and you trust yourself enough to pick up the phone and call your vet when something changes, then you're doing the exact thing that every good cat owner has quietly done for thousands of years, in every home that ever loved a cat. Paying close attention to a creature who can't use words, and loving him well enough to notice when he needs you. So tell me, where does your cat follow you? The kitchen? The hallway? Or is he a bathroom cat too? Leave it in the comments. I read them, and I love hearing the places these little shadows turn up.